Sophia Loren, the timeless icon of beauty, talent, and grace, has always captivated the world with her presence. For decades, her name has been synonymous with elegance, charisma, and cinematic brilliance. Yet behind her celebrated roles and glamorous image, there were moments of her life and career that remained shrouded in mystery, including her experiences with some of Hollywood's most famous actors. One of the stories fans have long speculated about involves George Peppard, her co-star in the classic film The Pink Panther. For years, rumors and whispers circulated about their relationship on set. But Sophia herself remained silent, until now. At 91, Sophia Loren has broken that silence, sharing reflections that are honest, candid, and deeply revealing. In a rare interview, she speaks about the man, the actor, and the experiences they shared. Moments that were both challenging and unforgettable. Her words paint a picture not just of Hollywood glamour, but of the personal realities behind the camera, the struggles, tensions, and dynamics that shaped the film and their interactions. What makes her revelation so compelling is the mix of nostalgia, insight, and emotional depth. Sophia reflects not only on her co-star, but also on her own journey as a woman navigating a male-dominated industry, balancing ambition, artistry, and personal boundaries. For fans, it's a glimpse into a world that was usually private, a world where a legend of cinema finally speaks her truth. And as she shares her experiences, there is laughter, reflection, and moments that are undeniably heartbreaking. The story she tells is far more nuanced than rumors ever suggested, and for the first time, the public hears her side of the story, in her own words. Sophia Loren's life has always been a delicate balance between extraordinary glamour and extraordinary challenge. She rose from humble beginnings in Rome to become one of the most celebrated actresses in the world, a symbol of elegance, talent, and resilience. But behind the dazzling smiles and unforgettable performances, her career was shaped not only by her choices, but also by the people she encountered along the way. Among them was George Peppard, her co-star in The Pink Panther, whose presence in her professional life left an impression that Loren has only now decided to discuss openly. For decades, the relationship between Loren and Peppard was the subject of speculation. Rumors ranged from tension on set to clashes over creative differences. Fans and historians have long wondered what really happened behind the camera. But Sophia remained quiet, protecting both her privacy and the dignity of those involved. Now, at 91, she has chosen to break her silence, offering a perspective that is honest, measured, and deeply human. In her recent interview, Sophia recalled the initial excitement of working on a major Hollywood production. She spoke about the thrill of stepping onto the set, the pressure of performing in front of international audiences, and the challenges of adapting to the Hollywood way of filmmaking, which was very different from what she was accustomed to in Europe. Amid the glitz and glamour, she quickly realized that navigating interpersonal dynamics was just as important as mastering her craft. George Peppard, she explained, was a talented actor with a strong presence, but also someone whose personality could be challenging. On set, they experienced moments of tension and disagreement, moments that tested her patience and her ability to maintain professionalism under pressure. Loren described these instances not with bitterness, but with a clarity that reflects decades of experience. She acknowledged that working with strong personalities in Hollywood often meant negotiating differences, managing egos, and finding common ground to ensure the success of the film. Yet the challenges were not purely professional. Sophia also reflected on the subtle ways in which gender dynamics influenced her experiences. As a woman in a male-dominated industry, she often had to assert herself in ways that were uncomfortable but necessary. Her interactions with Peppard and others like him were framed not only by the demands of the role, but by a broader struggle to be respected as an artist and a professional. These insights give her revelations a depth that goes beyond gossip. They reveal the realities of being a woman striving for excellence in an unforgiving industry. Despite the difficulties, Loren also spoke about moments of admiration and mutual respect. She recognized Peppard's skill, his dedication, and the moments when collaboration succeeded, producing the chemistry and performances that made the film memorable. Her reflections show that even complicated professional relationships can leave a lasting mark. sometimes challenging, sometimes inspiring, but always formative. By the end of this part of her story, it becomes clear that Loren's account is more than a tale of tension or disagreement. It's a testament to her resilience, grace, and intelligence. Her ability to navigate Hollywood's complexities, maintain her integrity, and achieve legendary success is evident in every word. And in finally speaking about George Peppard, then she provides fans not just with a story about two actors on set, but with a window into the challenges, triumphs, and realities of a life lived at the highest level of fame and artistry. As Sophia Loren continued to reflect on her time working with George Peppard, she shared stories that went far beyond the superficial rumors that had circulated for years. She described the intensity of Hollywood sets in the 1960s, where every scene carried immense pressure, and every actor was expected to deliver perfection. In this environment, disagreements were inevitable, but Loren's reflections reveal the nuance and humanity behind what many assumed was mere tension. She recalled instances where Peppard's approach to acting clashed with her own. He was confident, often unyielding in his interpretations, and sometimes impatient with the collaborative process that Loren valued. Yet she never spoke in anger or resentment. Instead, she approached these memories with a mixture of amusement and wisdom, explaining that these moments were part of what shaped her as an actress. They taught her patience, negotiation, and the importance of maintaining composure, even under stress. What makes these revelations particularly compelling is the perspective Loren brings as a woman navigating a male-dominated industry. She spoke candidly about how her voice and ideas were sometimes dismissed or overlooked simply because she was female. On set, maintaining authority while balancing charm and professionalism was a delicate act. And interactions with Peppard often reflected that broader dynamic. Loren described how she learned to assert herself without compromising her principles, a skill that would become a hallmark of her long and celebrated career. Yet, despite the challenges, Loren also emphasized the moments of connection and mutual respect that existed alongside the friction. She recalled scenes where their performances aligned perfectly, where their chemistry elevated the material, and where collaboration resulted in something neither could have achieved alone. These moments reminded her, and now the audience, that even in complicated relationships, there can be growth, learning, and admiration. Beyond the professional layer, Loren also reflected on the personal lessons that came from her experiences with Peppard. She spoke about patience, empathy, and understanding the perspectives of others, even when they were difficult. She highlighted how working with strong personalities teaches resilience and emotional intelligence, skills that are as vital off-screen as they are on-screen. By framing her experiences in this way, Loren transforms what could have been a story of conflict into a deeper reflection on life, work, and human connection. Perhaps most striking was her ability to balance candor with grace. She didn't dwell on negativity, nor did she exaggerate difficulties. Instead, she spoke with honesty and perspective, showing how even tense moments contributed to her growth and helped her refine both her craft and her character. Listeners were left with an understanding that fame and talent often come with unseen challenges, and that navigating those challenges requires intelligence, resilience, and heart. By the end of this portion of the interview, it was clear why Sophia Loren's words resonated so deeply. They reveal not only her experiences with George Peppard, but also her philosophy on life, work, and relationships. Her reflections are a reminder that behind every iconic performance lies a story of perseverance, insight, and personal strength. And for those who have admired her for decades, it is a rare and moving glimpse into the world behind the screen, told by a woman who has lived it with grace, courage, and unforgettable poise. As the conversation continued, Sophia Loren delved deeper into the complexities of working alongside George Peppard, offering reflections that were both honest and profoundly human. She recalled the challenges of collaboration on set, not as scandalous gossip, but as an insight into the intricacies of creative work with strong personalities. Peppard, she explained, had an undeniable talent and a commanding presence, but his confidence sometimes manifested as stubbornness. These moments could be difficult, yet Loren spoke of them without malice, instead focusing on the lessons they provided. She shared how these experiences tested not only her skills as an actress, but also her emotional resilience. In the highly charged atmosphere of Hollywood, small disagreements could escalate quickly. Loren, however, had learned the art of diplomacy, balancing firmness with charm, asserting her opinions without diminishing others, and maintaining professionalism while navigating tension. These abilities, she noted, were essential not just in acting, but in life. They shaped her into a figure of grace and poise, someone capable of leading while remaining approachable and relatable. Loren also reflected on the personal growth that arose from these challenges. Working closely with Peppard, she said, taught her patience, understanding, and the value of compromise. She acknowledged that not every interaction was easy, yet even the difficult moments contributed to her development, both as an artist and as a person. This perspective highlights Loren's ability to transform obstacles into opportunities, a trait that has defined her career and legacy. Beyond the professional aspects, Loren's reflections revealed the subtle interplay of respect, admiration, and occasional frustration that characterized their relationship. She spoke of moments when Peppard's dedication and skill inspired her, even when disagreements arose. These moments of alignment, where both actors' efforts merged seamlessly, reminded her why collaboration in art, though challenging, can be deeply rewarding. It also underscored her understanding that even complex relationships can yield profound, creative results. Perhaps the most compelling part of her account was how she balanced candor with compassion. Loren did not shy away from sharing the difficulties she faced, yet she framed them in a way that emphasized growth rather than conflict. She described the tensions, the negotiations, and the occasional misunderstandings, but she also highlighted the successes, the laughter, and the satisfaction of seeing a project come together despite the hurdles. This nuanced portrayal provided a rare glimpse into the realities of working in Hollywood's golden era, where behind the glamour lay a network of personalities, egos, and challenges that shaped every outcome. By the end of this portion of her story, it became evident why Sophia Loren's reflections resonate so powerfully. She offered a balanced, thoughtful, and deeply human perspective on a relationship that had long been subject to speculation. Her insights reveal not only the realities of her collaboration with George Peppard, but also the wisdom and resilience that allowed her to navigate Hollywood with grace. For fans and observers alike, it is a rare opportunity to understand the woman behind the icon, the intelligence, strength, and emotional depth that have defined her remarkable life and career. The final part of Sophia Loren's reflections on George Peppard moved beyond specific incidents and into a broader understanding of life, relationships, and personal growth. She spoke about how her experiences with Peppard, like many of her professional relationships, were not defined solely by tension or conflict, but by the lessons they imparted. These lessons, she emphasized, shaped her approach to both work and life, teaching her patience, perspective, and the importance of empathy. Loren reflected on the delicate balance required when collaborating with someone as talented and driven as Peppard. She recounted moments when disagreements arose over creative choices, interpretations, or performance nuances, but she also highlighted how compromise and communication often turned those challenges into moments of growth. Her perspective was remarkable. She framed difficulties not as obstacles, but as opportunities to develop not only professionally, but personally. By approaching conflict with intelligence and emotional awareness, Loren demonstrated why she remained at the top of her craft for decades. Beyond work, she also shared insights into her personal philosophy, shaped in part by these experiences. Loren spoke about the importance of understanding others, even when they are difficult or unpredictable, and of maintaining integrity while navigating complex relationships. She noted that working with Peppard had taught her valuable lessons about human behavior, collaboration, and the subtle dynamics that define any partnership, whether on set or off. For Loren, these lessons were as meaningful as any award or accolade she had earned throughout her storied career. Perhaps most touching were her reflections on respect and admiration. Despite the challenges, Loren never spoke in bitterness or anger. Instead, she acknowledged Peppard's talent, his professionalism, and the moments when his dedication inspired her. She described a relationship that, while complicated, was ultimately respectful. A partnership that required effort, understanding, and mutual acknowledgement of each other's abilities. It was a nuanced, mature perspective that few actors ever publicly share about their co-stars. As the interview drew to a close, Loren's words carried a sense of finality and reflection. She spoke not only about Peppard, but about the broader journey of her life, her triumphs, challenges, and the wisdom gained from decades in Hollywood. She emphasized that even the most iconic careers are shaped by human interaction, negotiation, and personal growth. Her reflections offered fans a rare glimpse into the depth of character, intelligence, and emotional resilience that have defined her as both an artist and a woman. By the end, it was clear why Sophia Loren's decision to speak up at 91 was so significant. She did more than reveal truths about a co-star. She shared insights into the complexity of her world, the challenges of her profession, and the grace with which she navigated them. Her words left a lasting impression, reminding everyone that behind every legendary performer is a human being, capable of growth, reflection, and profound understanding. And in finally sharing her perspective on George Peppard, Sophia Loren added another remarkable chapter to a life already defined by brilliance, resilience, and timeless elegance.